Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now is our in-house analyst, Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji. How was your weekend?
Good morning.
It was fantastic. I'm sure you know that. Stalking.
I know.
Good morning, Leila. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Great to see
And
you.
good morning to you, viewers. We begin What's Trending today with an exciting news under entertainment. Afrofusion artist Burna Boy has been announced the winner of the Best Africa Act Award at the 2019 MTV EMAs. Burna Boy, alongside fellow Nigerian Tenny the Entertainer, took home the prestigious award at the star-studded event that was held last night in Seville, Spain. Burna Boy now joins the list of the MTV EMA Best Africa Act Award winners from Nigeria, which includes Two-Face, D'banj, Tiwa Savage, and Davido, to win the much-coveted international honor. Congratulations to Burna Boy. I mean, this year alone, he also won the BET Award as well. I mean, I think this is such a great year for Burna Boy.
Honestly.
It's amazing.
And he really deserves it.
Yes.
He does. He does.
Well, I mean, congratulations to Burna Boy. I mean, this is the MTV European Music Awards, and it was declared the best act from Africa. And it's refreshing every day to see an upcoming emergent generation of Nigerian artists, Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage, doing great things on the international stage, either in terms of collaboration with international acts or in terms of the recognition that they receive. And Burna Boy, of course, has been very consistent, and I think that you should see this latest award, like the others, as a source of continuing motivation, encouragement for him to remain focused, diligent, and productive.
Yeah, he's become a role model right now because, like you said, he's been consistent with his craft. I didn't even know he's been performing for, I think, over a decade now. And now this, I think, last 2 or 3 years has been a really good year for him in terms of all his win and his accomplishments.
And he put out an amazing album this year.
Yes,
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, still under entertainment in Nigeria, the highly anticipated movie sequel, Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, premiered over the weekend in Lagos. The movie features an array of some of Nollywood's finest stars, and it's the directorial debut of Nigeria's lead actor, Ramsey Noah. 4 years in the making, the movie is a sequel to the original Living in Bondage, which is considered the first Nigerian movie to become a blockbuster in Nollywood. Arise News morning show co-host Sheita Atigering was there to cover the event.
This is your first directorial debut.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? That transformation from actor to now directing your first movie, how does that make you feel?
Well, I feel totally exhilarated, but it's more like the compounding factor of me going to take a job about 27, 28 years old, and then a remake is the first of its kind in Nollywood anyways, remaking a story of an original, and an old one of that matter. And the workload behind being a director and an actor, it was surmounting. It was kind of like really overwhelming. It was hard. It was almost like saying I decided to climb Mount Everest. So it was pretty tough for me, but I like challenges, so I took it. And here we are.
And this is such an important movie for Nollywood. Like I said, it's the first movie, Living in Bondage, is considered the first movie that, made such a huge commercial value for Nollywood because obviously a lot of people really were attracted to the storyline with that movie. And it's so important to see that they made it, and the transition from VHS to obviously our global platform right now. I think it's important for the whole world to see a story like this come out of Nigeria.
Well, Living in Bondage was, one of the popular movies around 92, 93, when Nollywood was still more or less in its infancy. And many of the actors in that film at that time, it was, their coming of age. It was, their first major outing. Kanayo, Ritanzelu, Zeku, Okonkwo, Jennifer Okere, and many of them went on to do a lot of other movies and become very successful in Nollywood. Now, to see Living in Bondage, a sequel so many years later, I think it's interesting, and I see that there's a lot of excitement ahead of the release of the film on November 8th, because many Nigerians will remember the movie. And it also represents a particular moment in the evolution of Nollywood. That time when the emphasis was more on occultism, materialism, inordinate search for wealth. You know, I understand that the premiere was shown on Saturday. I was not privileged to be there, but I noticed that you were there.
I invited you, did I?
I noticed that you were there and you were all over the place.
So Matthew was watching from Instagram.
And you were all over the place. But it will be nice to see what Ramsey Noah, you know, who is directing for the first time, has done with the story and how he's been able to update the plot, you know, in line with current realities. But at the level of security, curiosity,
Curiosity, right.
Yeah, I believe that many Nigerians would love to see it.
Yes.
And I would love to see it too, at some point.
Me too. I was quite surprised because he, like you said, all of the other cast members were in there as well, like Kenneth Okonkwo, and I believe Emeka as well was in there.
Kanayo
Oka, yeah, they were all there. And I believe Shaitan said this was the most... the red carpet that had the
gathering of the tribes.
Exactly.
To use that
so, I mean, plus also in the movie, he did the whole thing by reenacting and putting the old actors from the previous living in bondage. So you get to see all of those people in the sequel as well, which I think is so interesting to watch. I didn't have the chance to watch the entire movie at the premiere, but I am looking forward to seeing it this weekend on November 8th when it comes out.
It's brilliant.
That would be nice,
Yes. Let's head over to New York now, where President Donald Trump over the weekend received some mixed reactions as he entered the Madison Square Garden for the Ultimate Fighting Championship in New York. The president, who is facing down an impeachment inquiry led by House Democrats, attended the event with his sons Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. The moment Trump entered the stadium, the audience erupted into boos and cheers. Let's take a listen quickly. I guess that section of the audience, it depends on where you're sitting down in the stadium. I mean, I think that there were some that were cheers and there were some that were boos, but online and every reaction that we see was more of boos than cheers. I mean, it's just...
I certainly saw more boos than cheers as well.
It was more of boos than cheers.
Well, I think you're right. It depends on who is looking at it. I mean, there are persons who are saying, oh, let's get him out. Let's, you know, take him out of that office. And there were also persons who were cheering him on. And you see the media also in the United States has been divided. Fox News, you know, on a program called Fox and Friends, they tried to spin it. You know, they focused on the chairs, you know, and give the impression, that, you know, on Fox and Friends, that President Trump is a very popular person.
He also tweeted as well, Trump, saying that he received such an applaud.
Yeah, but we do know that, you know, ahead of the elections, passions are going up in the United States. People have become very emotional. The country is divided, you know, down the line, Democrats, Republicans. So if you have Democratic sympathies, you know, you will boo the president. If you have Republican sympathies, you know, you will cheer him on. But I think Fox News, we need to investigate, you know, why they give the story that slant.
But that's always what Fox News does. Everyone, I mean, there was just a recent anchor that quit because she said she wanted to tell authentic stories and she didn't believe in Fox News anymore.
Well, Fox News is all Donald Trump, so...
Exactly, and with his impeachment inquiry right now going on, I think there's also a petition that is out with Donald Trump. People are saying impeachment is not just the whole idea, it's actually to remove him. And the petition is so hilarious online that people are going to be in front of the White House from November, I think, 11th or so, until November 11th. You know. All right, we'll take one final story under sports. Lewis Hamilton has been crowned Formula One World Champion for the 6th time after finishing second at the United States Grand Prix, where Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas won the race. The 34-year-old Briton finished second at the Circuit of the Americas to become only the second driver after retired Ferrari great and 7-time champion Michael Schumacher to win 6 titles.
Congrats.
Well, isn't that great? Phenomenal.
Yes,
Talented.
I know. He's
amazing fellow.
I'm such a Lewis Hamilton fan.
Are you
Thank you
really?
very much, Ojo.
Oji, thank
We'll
you.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.